Hello students, today we will discuss exercise 3.1 and in exercise 3.1 question number 1 is given here are some figures. You can see I have some figures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 figures in this question and we have to classify each of them on the basis of the following, and first one is simple curve. Simple curve. Now we have to find out which figures are simple curves out of these 8 figures. And as you know, what is simple curve? Simple curves are those curves which we can draw without lifting a pencil from the paper, or a curve that does not cross itself. So you can check here, figure number 1 is, and this figure we can draw without lifting the pencil, without lifting the pen. And this figure, in this figure no line is crossing each other. So figure 1 is simple curve. Now move to the figure 2. Figure 2 can also be drawn without lifting pen, and here no sides are crossing each other. So figure 2 is also simple curve. Now here figure number 3. In figure number 3 there are 2 circles, but if I draw one circle and then I want to draw another circle, then I have to lift my pen. So it is not simple curve. So figure number 1 is simple curve, figure number 2 is simple curve, but figure number 3 is not simple curve. And here in figure number 4 is a kind of star, and it is not a simple curve, because if I want to draw this star, then I have to lift my pen. And also you can see here that some sides are crossing each other, so it is not a simple curve. Again figure number 5, it is a simple curve, because if I want to draw this curve, then I can draw this curve without lifting my pen. So figure 5 is a simple curve. Now figure number 6, it is also a simple curve, because I can draw this without lifting my pen. Figure number 7 is also a simple curve, because I can also draw this without lifting my pen. Now come to the figure number 8. It is not a simple curve, because if I draw this circle, then I have to lift my pen for completing this figure. So it is not a simple curve. So we have figure number 1, figure number 2, 5, 6 and 7 are the simple curves. Now part B, simple closed curve. And if any curve is simple curve, and see this curve is a closed curve. So figure number 1, simple closed curve. So figure number 1 is simple closed curve. Figure number 2 is also a simple closed curve. You can check here, this curve is closed. So it is simple closed curve. Now figure number 3 is not a simple curve, so it can't be simple closed curve. Figure number 4 is also not a simple closed curve, because it is not a simple curve. Figure number 5 is a simple closed curve. Yes, figure number 5 is a simple curve as well as simple closed curve. Figure number 6 is a simple curve as well as simple closed curve. Figure number 7 is a simple curve as well as simple closed curve. Figure number 8 is neither simple curve nor simple closed curve. So we have simple closed curve, figure number 1, figure number 2, 5, 6 and 7. Now come to the part C, polygon. And polygon. What is a polygon? Polygon is a simple closed curve made up of only line segments. So figure number 1 is a polygon. Figure number 2 is also a polygon. Figure number 3 is not a polygon. Figure number 4 is not a polygon because a simple closed curve made up of only line segments. This star has line segment, but it is not a simple curve. So it is not a polygon. This is not a polygon. Figure number 5 is not a polygon. Figure number 6 is also not a polygon because here we can see that this one is arc shaped. And again it is not a polygon. 7th and 8th is also not a polygon. So figure number 1 and figure number 2 comes under polygon. Now part D, convex polygon. And as you all know that convex polygon means all of its interior angles are less than 180 and all diagonals lie inside polygon. And also vertices will point in the outward direction. So figure number 2, in which all vertices are pointing in the outward direction. So figure number 2 is convex polygon. Convex polygon is figure number 2. Now next is concave polygon, and as you know very well, concave polygon in which one angle should be greater than 180 degree and one vertex will point, if in a polygon one vertex will point in what direction, then it will be concave polygon. So figure number 1 is concave polygon. Now your question number 1 is done. Next we will discuss question number 2. We will discuss question number 2 of exercise 3.1, and question number 2 is how many diagonals does each of the following have? Part A is given a convex quadrilateral. First of all, you should know what is diagonal. Basically, a diagonal is a line segment connecting two non-consecutive vertices of a polygon. Non-consecutive, or you can say that opposite vertices of a polygon. And now I am drawing one quadrilateral, and I think now you know what is meaning of convex. That is, all the vertices of a quadrilateral, all the 4 vertices of quadrilateral should point outward. Now you can draw any quadrilateral. Basically, quadrilateral is a polygon who has 4 sides, who has 4 line segments. I am drawing one quadrilateral A, B, C, D. Now, how many diagonals does a convex quadrilateral has? Then just join two non-consecutive vertices of this quadrilateral, or we can say that opposite vertices of this quadrilateral. Here you can check that A and C are opposite vertices and B and D are opposite vertices. So join A and C and join point B with point D, and then we have AC and BD are two diagonals. So a convex quadrilateral has two diagonals. Now students, see the B part of question number 2. How many diagonals does a regular hexagon has? Here I have drawn one regular hexagon, and now if I am starting from point A, then opposite vertices of point A or non-consecutive vertices of point A are C, then I have AC diagonal, D, then I have AD diagonal from A, and then AE, I have AE diagonal. So from A, I have three diagonals, AC, AD and AE. Now coming to point B, from point B and opposite vertices of point B are D, so I have one diagonal BD, E, then I have one diagonal BE, and F, I have another diagonal BF. And now coming to point C, opposite vertices of point C or non-consecutive vertices, then I have one diagonal CE, CF and CA, but AC is already drawn, so we have diagonals from C are CE and CF. Now one point is left, D, and from opposite vertices of point D are A, but already AD is drawn, F, DF, B is also opposite vertex of point D, but it is already joined. So we have the 9 diagonals which can be drawn in this regular hexagon: AC, AD, AE, BD, BE, BF, CE, CF and DF. So 9 diagonals can be drawn in a regular hexagon. Now part 3. Part 3 is how many diagonals does each of the following have, and part C is a triangle. Here I have drawn a triangle, but triangle has no diagonal. And why I am writing triangle has no diagonal? Since there is no opposite vertex of point A. Point B and C are consecutive vertices of vertex A, and similarly there is no opposite vertex of point C, because B and A are consecutive vertices of point C. So triangle has no diagonals. Now students, next question is question number 3. What is the sum of measures of angles of a convex quadrilateral, and will this property hold if the quadrilateral is not convex? Now first of all we have to draw one quadrilateral. Here I have drawn quadrilateral ABCD. Now first step is join point A with point C, that is draw one diagonal and mark interior angles like 1, this angle is 2, this angle is 3, this angle is 4, then this angle is 5 and this angle is 6. Now I have two triangles, triangle ADC and triangle ABC. Now in first triangle, this one angle 2 plus angle 6 plus angle 3, and I think all of you should know very well that angle sum property, if I apply angle sum property for this triangle, then angle 2 plus angle 6 plus angle 3 will be equal to 180 degree, and write down here angle sum property. And then in triangle ADC, angle 1, angle 4 plus angle 5 will again equal to 180, and write down under which property, angle sum property for a triangle. Now here I am writing equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. By adding equation 1 and equation 2, we get angle 2 plus angle 6 plus angle 3 plus angle 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 5, 180 plus 180 will be equal to 360 degree. Now write down angle 1 plus angle 2 together plus angle 6 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 360 degree. Now angle 1 plus angle 2 is angle A, angle 3 plus angle 4 and angle 6 is equals to angle B, and write angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to this angle, complete angle, and it is angle C, and replace angle 5 by angle D, 360 degree, and then rearranging it is already rearranged 360 degree. So we have sum of measures of angles of a convex quadrilateral is equal to 360 degree. So sum of measures of angles of convex quadrilateral is 360 degree. Now next part is, will this property hold if the quadrilateral is not convex? So if the quadrilateral is not convex, then we can draw any concave quadrilateral. Students, see the next part, that will this property hold if the quadrilateral is not convex. Here I have drawn one concave quadrilateral, and quadrilateral is A, B, C, D, and I have joined point A to point C so that there are two triangles in this quadrilateral. Now again angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and this one angle 6. Now in the triangle ADC, angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 6, 180 degree, and reason is same, angle sum property. And in this triangle ABC, angle 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 will be equal to 180 degree. Write the reason again, angle sum property. Adding equation 1 and 2, then angle 2 plus angle 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 360 degree. Now take angle 1 and 2 together plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6, 360 degree. Angle 1 plus angle 2 replaced by angle A, and see in the figure that angle 3 plus angle 4 is angle C, angle 5 is angle B, angle 6 is angle D. Now we have, after rearranging all the four angles, C plus angle D 360 degree. So this property also holds, this property, we can say that this property also holds if the quadrilateral is not convex. Question number 3 is done. Now student, moving to question number 4, examine the table. Each figure is divided into triangles and the sum of the angles deduced from that. Here some figures are given, right? This first figure is triangle and it has 3 sides, so angle sum is 180 degree. Here one quadrilateral is given, it has 4 sides, and then since this figure has 2 triangles, so sum of all interior angles of this quadrilateral will be 2 into 180 degree, because there are 2 triangles, right? Or we can say that 4 minus 2, 4 is the number of sides that this quadrilateral has. Number of sides, this quadrilateral has 4 number of sides. So 4 minus 2 into 180 degree. And see, this one is pentagon because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And again it has 3 triangles. So sum of all interior angles of this pentagon will be 3 into 180, because this pentagon has 3 triangles. So we can say that angle sum is 3 into 180, or n minus 2, that is n is equals to 5, and minus 2 into 180 degree. We can write 540 degree as 5 minus 2 into 180. This is hexagon and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So total sum of all interior angles of this hexagon will be 4 into 180 degree, and we can write it 4 as 6 minus 2. 6 are the number of sides that this regular hexagon has. Now each figure is divided into triangles and sum of the angles deduced from that as given in question. Now we have to find out what can you say about the angle sum of a convex polygon with the number of sides. If we generalize result of this table, then we can write that angle sum for any polygon that has n sides will be n minus 2 into 180 degree. And we can cross check this formula by, if I am taking one example, that is triangle, and triangle has 3 sides, we can verify this formula. 3 sides, so if I put the 3 in place of n in this above formula, then I have angle sum for triangle 3 minus 2 into 180 degree, that is 1 into 180 degree, that is 180 degree. Right? Now we will do A part. Here A part is given 7. That is, question will be, what can you say about the angle sum of a convex polygon with the number of sides? And if convex polygon has 7 number of sides, then angle sum for this polygon which has 7 number of sides will be 7, applying this formula, 7 minus 2 into 180 degree, 5 into 180 degree, and this one is 900 degree. That is, angle sum for the polygon which has 7 sides will be equal to 900 degree. Now you can do part B and part C. And part D is, here we have given n sides. That is, this polygon has n number of sides, then write down the formula as it is, n minus 2 into 180 degree. Angle sum for this polygon will be n minus 2 into 180 degree. Right? Now question number 4 has been done. See the question number 5 of exercise 3.1. What is a regular polygon? And a regular polygon is that polygon which is equiangular as well as equilateral. So you have to write this definition by yourself. Now we have to state the name of a regular polygon if it has 3 sides. A regular polygon whose 3 sides, which has 3 sides, will be equilateral triangle. Here we have to specify equilateral triangle because there are 3 kinds of triangles: equilateral, isosceles or scalene triangle. And here we are taking regular polygon, so it is necessary to mention that triangle is equilateral triangle. Now corresponding to 4 sides, regular polygon is square, because in square all 4 sides are equal and each angle is 90 degree. And third one is 6 sides, and for 6 side regular polygon we write it regular hexagon. Here it is important to write regular because there is no specific type of hexagon, and since we are taking regular polygon, so we have to write a polygon whose 6 sides are equal and it is equiangular also, so we have to write it regular hexagon. Now question number 5 is also done. Now students, see the question number 6 of exercise 3.1. Find the angle measures x in the following figure. Here you can check that in part A it is again quadrilateral since it has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and by angle sum property, sum of all interior angles of this quadrilateral will be 360 degree. Right? So you can put 50 degree plus 130 degree plus 120 degree plus x will be equal to 360 degree. Then you can find out value of x. Now I am doing part B. You can do part A by yourself. Now I am doing part B. Again it is one quadrilateral and its interior angles are given x 70 degree, 60 degree, and here no angle is given, and we have to find out value of x. So first of all we have to find out this angle, and it is clear from this diagram that sum of this angle and this angle will be 180 degree as they are forming linear pair. So I am just writing here angle P. So this angle P, and it is clear from the diagram that this angle will be this angle is of 90 degree. So angle P plus angle 90 degree will be equal to 180 degree, and property is linear pair. You have to mention that you are applying which property. So we get angle P is equals to 90 degree. Now we have this angle P is equal to 90 degree, and now in this quadrilateral applying angle sum property for quadrilateral, x plus 70 degree plus 60 degree plus 90 degree equal to 360 degree by angle sum property. And then this one is 70 plus 60 130, 130 plus 90 220 degree, and then we get 360 degree minus 220 degree is equal to 140 degree. So value of x is 140 degree. Now part B is done. Now you will do part C by yourself. I am doing part B. Here one regular pentagon is given whose 5 sides are equal. Then applying angle sum property for this regular pentagon, we have n minus 2, that is angle sum for this regular pentagon will be n minus 2 into 180 degree. Here sides are 5 minus 2 into 180 degree, 3 into 180 degree equal to 540 degree, right? And since this is regular pentagon, so all 5 angles are equal, that is x plus x, all its 5 angles will be this 540 degree. Sum of all interior angles is 540 degree since. So 5x is equal to 540 degree and x is equals to 540 degree upon 5 is equals to 108 degree. So we have value of x is 108 degree. Now part D is also done. Here students see last question of exercise 3.4, question number 7. We have to find out in part A x plus y plus z from this diagram. And see this diagram that z, x and y. Now we have to find out value of x, y and z. Then we take sum. And here I can find out value of z easily because z and 30 degree are forming linear pair. So we can write z plus 30 degree is equal to 180 degree, and then I get value of z 150 degree. And by applying angle sum property for this triangle, I can get value of this angle also. Then I apply linear pair property and find out y from this. And here I can find out value of x, which is 90 degree, again by applying linear pair property. And then you have to find out x plus y plus z. Now I am coming to part B. See, in part B we have to find out x plus y plus z plus w. And again z and 60 degree are making linear pair. So I write 180 degree and linear pair, write the property which we are applying. Here again 80 degree, y plus 80 degree will be equal to 180, and reason is again linear pair. And now here 120 degree and x, 180 degree, and reason again linear pair. And now see, here I have not value of this angle, and this one is quadrilateral, so by angle sum property 60 degree plus 80 degree plus 120 degree, and I am giving this angle name P, plus angle P is equals to 360 degree. Angle sum property for quadrilateral, that is sum of all interior angles of this quadrilateral will be equal to 360 degree. Then angle P will be 360 degree minus, see here 80 degree plus 120 degree 200, and 200 plus 60 degree plus angle P is equals to 360 degree. Then angle P will be 360 minus 260 degree, then angle P will be equal to 100 degree. Right? Now I can easily apply linear pair for W and angle P. (180 degree). So value of W is 80 degree. Otherwise I am leaving this at this point, and now this one equation 1, this one equation 2, this one equation 3, this one equation 4. Now adding equation 1, 2, 3 and 4, I have z plus 60 degree plus y plus 80 degree plus x plus 120 degree and plus w plus 100 is equals to 180 degree plus 180 degree plus 180 degree plus 180 degree. Now x plus y plus z plus w plus 60 plus 80 140 and 120 plus 100 220, so 140 degree plus 220 degree is equals to 720 degree. And then x plus y plus z plus w plus 360 degree is equals to 720 degree, and then we get 720 degree minus 360 degree is equals to 360 degree. So we have from part B, x plus y plus z plus w will be equal to 360 degree. Now question number 7 is also done and exercise 3.1 is finished.